Hello everybody, I thought it was about time that I did a new video updating you all on my life and how I've been dealing with my cystic fibrosis and all the latest news. So as you can probably notice straight away, I'm wearing oxygen, which you won't have seen me wear in any of my previous videos. Over the last year my condition has deteriorated quite rapidly and I'm now relying on oxygen a lot. I tend to use it every single night when I'm sleeping, and I'm starting to have to use it when I go out in the day. I can't really walk for very long distances without it, and the reason I'm wearing it in this video is because I can't talk for very long periods without it. So, because of my declining condition, I've actually decided now to go for a lung transplant. The main reason, though, for my decision is that in July, my closest friend with cystic fibrosis, Emma, passed away at the age of just 20. She was waiting to go on the transplant list, but she never got her call. And so unfortunately, cystic fibrosis sort of did its damage and took her away to heaven. So that was a big shock, and it made me realise that I can't just sit around doing nothing, and I can't just let my body rot without doing the absolute best I can to fight and beat cystic fibrosis. And when I last saw Emma on her last day, I told her, I promised her that I'd fight on for the both of us. And so my transplant journey has begun, and I'm now being referred for a lung transplant. In my previous videos, I did say that I didn't want a transplant, and my doctors had also told me that I couldn't have one because one of the bugs I grow, atypical Mycobacterium abscessus, stops you being able to have a transplant. This is because it's too risky. Your new lungs are bound to become infected with it, and it can stop recovery, and it's got lots of bad side effects. However, the good news is that I'm now 18 months clear of growing this Mycobacterium abscessus. So my consultant is very confident that I no longer have it, and therefore I'm now eligible to have a transplant. And like I say, seeing Emma pass away has also made me mentally change my mind about having a transplant. And so in July of this year, I started all the necessary testing to have a lung transplant. Now, most people probably don't realise that to have a transplant, it's not just as simple as, oh, you need a transplant, let's put you on the transplant list. There's a lot of intense testing that has to be carried out to make sure that you are healthy enough to have a transplant, but also poorly enough to have a transplant. So in July, I had a lot of initial tests. These included x-rays, a lot of blood tests. I had a heart echo scan, which is kind of like an ultrasound of your heart. I had a liver ultrasound. I had a CT scan. I had to do a 24-hour urine collection, which was a lot of fun. And then I had to do breathing tests and an exercise test. Now, the results from all these tests came back, and they were all pretty positive and showed that, yeah, I was a good candidate for lung transplantation. And so I've now been referred to the Newcastle Freeman's Hospital, where I'm hoping they will also agree with my team in Leicester that I'm eligible for a transplant. So tomorrow I'm off to Newcastle with my parents for what they call a 4-day assessment. And basically I'm going to have all the tests that I already had in July repeated, as well as meeting with the surgeons, the transplant team, the nurses, a psychologist to check I'm mentally strong enough, social workers to check that I have a good enough support system around me for during and after transplantation. So there's a lot of factors that they consider when deciding whether or not I'm eligible. I will find out on Thursday whether or not I can have a transplant, So everybody keep their fingers crossed for me. What I'm going to try and do is do as much videoing as I can of the transplant assessment, just to show everyone sort of how intense it is, and that it's not as simple getting on the transplant list as you thought. So I'm not sure how much they'll allow me to film, but I'll try my best to get sort of a bit of footage of each of the tests, so you can get a good idea about it all. And I'll post that up next week with obviously the verdict of whether or not I'm eligible. So that's kind of everything that's been going on recently. Apart from that, I've got a bucket list which I've been working my way through. I've done lots of exciting things. I went to Glastonbury Festival. I've went to Harry Potter studio tour in London. I had a big 21st birthday bash, which was a Mad Hatter's tea party, which was the party of my dreams. It was incredible. And I've got lots more things planned. I'm going to London for a weekend in December to see Lion King and go to Winter Wonderland, which I'm so excited about. And obviously I'm really excited for Christmas. But the best Christmas present and the only thing I'm hoping for is my name on the transplant list. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to comment and message me, and I'll try and answer them all in my next video. But yeah, that's all for now. Thank you for watching. Bye!